going on for months, and they love each other. And she doesn't know what to do. She said, Rabbi, you look like a nice man. She didn't know who he is. He's also a great musician. She told him, maybe you can do something. Maybe you can speak to them. Maybe, after all, I'm going to be much more Jewish than them. They don't keep any mitzvah. I already keep everything. I keep Shabbos. All I have to do is to go to the mikveh in a few weeks. And I'll be much more Orthodox than them. And they don't want to take me because, So he said, okay, give me your telephone number, give me their telephone number, and let's see what's going to be. He got the number, he called them up in the evening, he got to his hotel, he calls them up, and he has to speak to the father come to the phone, they talk about 15 minutes on the phone, he's trying to convince him that it's not the end of the world, she's a nice girl, she's going to be a great Orthodox convert, a real convert, it's nothing to be afraid of. The Torah says 36 times to love the converts, to respect them, to assist them in any way, never to be cruel to them or anything like this. So, I don't think that this is the right decision. Why you should suffer that there were Nazi Germans who killed Jews? What does it have to do with her now? The father said, Rabbi, I really respect you, but you're wasting your time. There's nothing to talk about. It was nice talking to you. Goodbye. Okay, so he couldn't do it. He called her up. He called this Kathy back. And her father picked up the phone. I speak to Kathy. He hears, who is this? Shlomo Karlibach. He said, how can I help you? He said, I was on a plane. I spoke to her about the boy, this, that. And I want to give her, the results of my phone call to the parents of the guy. So the father said, Rabbi, I don't care what you did, but I want to tell it to you right now before she comes to the phone that we also not interested. They don't want our daughter, we don't want them. They're not doing us any favor. I don't want. He said, listen, it's a little bit too late anyway, it's not going to happen. They didn't agree. And then the guy said to him, I want to tell you something, my daughter doesn't know, but we are Jewish. She doesn't know. We are Holocaust survivors. And we didn't want our daughter to go through what we went to. We don't know what's going to happen in America one day. So let her think she's Christian, end of story. Nobody will ever know. She will never confess that she's Jewish because she doesn't know. So Shlomo Karlibach was a very smart man, and his brain thinks very fast. Right away he got the point that there's really no problem. She's Jewish and he's Jewish. What's the argument is about? She's not a convert. She's originally a Jew. Right away, he called them up and he said to the father, listen, you're not going to believe what just happened. I just called the father and I spoke to him. And accidentally, I found out they're also Jewish. And he's a Holocaust survivor. He was here, he was in this camp. So when the father heard that, he said, wait a minute, they changed all the rules. The only reason we were against it was we thought that, okay, but if that's the case, then we have no problem. He called them up, he said, would you like to meet each other in my hotel room tonight? So they say, yeah, why not? Let's meet the girl, let's meet her parents, let's make an evening. So as they showed up to the hotel, when one family went in, a few minutes later, the other one showed up. When the man walked in, the father of Kathy, he looked at him, they both looked at each other for about 10-20 seconds. Fischel! Nachman! I can't believe it! You're alive! I was sure you're dead! They begin to cry. They faint, they put water on their face, they hug, they cry. Say something, Rav Shlomo said. They can't talk. After a few minutes of the excitement, it turns that both of them were Chevruta, learning Gemara in yeshiva since they're little kids. And one day the Germans showed up and took all the guys from the yeshiva. And before it happened, they promised each other that if we make it to the war, we'll do everything we can to find each other and marry our children. And he said, you see, what we didn't do we swore to each other, Hashem did for us. 7 billion people in the world, the boy and Kathy met by themselves somewhere. What's the chance something like this can happen by itself? And we have people, no God, no supervision, no ashgacha, no miracles, don't believe in it. I have hundreds of stories like this, more or less, of ashgacha. Even with my own people I talk to and I see things that happen, it's hard to believe how Hashem makes such a clear miracle to ordinary people like us in these days. So, we have to know one thing. Rabbi Nachman Breslov says, Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar meod. I'm sure every one of you heard this song before. Even though it's in Hebrew, every American heard that. Why Rabbi Nachman Breslov say the whole world is a narrow bridge, and he didn't say the whole world is a narrow way? Narrow way, narrow road. Why narrow bridge? Why it has to do with bridge now? Everything these rabbis wrote has a lot of secrets in it. It's not based on the mood that they woke up with, right? If his wife made him coffee or not. The mood, you go to the court, sometimes the judge show up with good mood. He made a lot of money, the stock market open up. So instead of going 25 years to prison, today you go only 10 years. His stock went up today. If the stock went down, you're going to go to 50 years. That's how it works. You're laughing. This is exactly how it works in a secular court. Why do you think someone has fear from God over there? A Jew that eats pork, drive on Shabbat, do all kinds of things. And he's a judge in a court. He has fear from Hashem. If he has fear from Hashem, he'll worry about his own soul. If he doesn't care about his own soul, he cares about your soul. If you have to be judged now. It's needless to say. What's the comparison here? He doesn't care about his own. This is, by the way, why in Shulchan Aruch says that a person that doesn't keep Shabbos. Now, we're not talking about someone who was born in Siberia and he doesn't know anything about Judaism. Well, he's innocent. We're talking a person who knows Shabbat is a holy day and it's the covenant between the Jewish nation and Hashem. And he still violates Shabbat, knowing it's a horrible sin. One of the worst in Judaism. Someone like this, the Shulchan Aruch say, cannot be used as a witness in any case in the Jewish Beit Din. Cannot be. So everybody asks, why? If he saw someone murdering another person, and he said the exact details like another witness, that the other witness is Shomer Shabbos. Both of them describe the murder in 1,000 words, almost word by word. Why can't we convict the murderer because one of the witnesses wasn't Shomer Shabbos? What's the connection? The answer is, if somebody doesn't care about his own soul for eternity, you expect him to care about another person? To add a little bit salt and pepper to the story? Somebody like this, we cannot receive any testimony from him for good or for bad. To dismiss the criminal or to convict him, we're not allowed. We're not allowed. Even if he testifies what the camera shows us. There was a camera. Obviously the Torah did not permit using cameras in Jewish court because there's no cameras. So we see in a camera that Reuven killed Shimon. And now a witness come and also say the same story, but it wasn't Shomer Shabbos. We cannot use his testimony. We have to let this Reuven go free. Let Hashem take care of him. Why? He doesn't care about his own soul. For sure, he doesn't care about anybody else's soul. That's the rule. That's what the Torah says. It's in 7 different places in Shulchan Aruch, in the Jewish Book of Law. Before I finished, in the holiday of Sukkot, just 2 days ago, actually yesterday, also on Shabbat, we have a special reading and a special haftarah. And we read in the Sukkot and on Shabbat the story of Gog and Magog, the final war that will take place in the days of the Messiah, what's going to happen in the world, a massive destruction, so many things. If you read it, I don't have time to describe it, it's in Zechariah 14. And what's going to happen? The people will survive, the righteous Jews and the righteous Gentiles that will survive. Then God will come to the Gentiles and say to them, you have to celebrate the holiday of Sukkot. the holiday of Sukkot. But before the big war, the Gentiles will come to the messenger of God and say, it's not fair. God is not objective. He gave the Jews the Torah. He gave them all these holy rabbis to teach them Torah. And he never gave us any serious mitzvah. If you give us a mitzvot, we also keep. What's the question? Just because I was born to Christine, it means I'm a bad person? Of course not. You give me the Torah, you see how I'm going to be righteous. Right now, I'm not a Jew, so I can't keep it. Give it to me, you see. And Hashem said, no problem, here, I'm giving you a very easy mitzvah. Mitzvah kala, a light mitzvah. Mitzvah of sukkah. So they go into the sukkah. This is a prophecy. It will happen one day. I don't know exactly how, where, in Jerusalem. It will happen one day. And they go in, and Hashem brings the sun out like never before. Very hot day, like the Arizona desert, 120 degrees. You put an egg outside on the street, 2 minutes later you come, it's a sunny side up. You can eat breakfast. You don't need an oven over there. So, a very hot day, and in Israel it's also very humid. So the Goyim, the Gentiles, they go out of the sukkah.